Okay, so we're going to start off with Bitcoin on the weekly chart here. And I have a heat map on right now. And as you can see, we are currently sitting in the yellow, which indicates that it's a pretty good time to buy right now. We could be close to the bottom, or at least we're getting there. We could be at the bottom. Who really knows at this point? But if we look back, we can see that just about every time that it touches yellow, we're getting ready for another big push upwards, and we are getting very yellow on this heat map. So that would indicate that we are going to move up soon, and it will probably be a relatively large move. So I can go all the way back to the beginning of the chart. Whenever the heat map is in yellow, it's always a good time to buy. So that's one of our first signals that I think is very bullish for Bitcoin in the long term. So looking at our heat map on the daily chart, it's the same story. We are very much so in this yellow zone, and taking a look at our price levels here, we are in the discount zone. So if we can again zoom back out and take a look at it on a larger scale, when we dip into the discount area, it's giving us the same signal as a heat map. This is a cheaper time to buy Bitcoin. Up here at the peak, it was a bit too expensive. We got a bit overextended. And this is the premium zone up here, but we've came down in a fairly consistent manner, and now we've entered discount. So this is another reason why I think Bitcoin could be moving up in the long term. Looking at the RSI here on the daily chart, it's very obvious that we are a bit oversold, and that usually indicates that we are going to make a move back up relatively soon. We could do something similar here where we come down, come back in, and then swoop down for another one. But we are pretty far out here on the RSI, and it wouldn't surprise me if this was pretty close to the bottom. Another reason why I think Bitcoin is bullish in the longer term is this fear and greed index. As we can see right here, we are very low. I believe we're at 21 right now. And between the 30 and 10 range is a pretty good range for fear. And every time we hit this fear zone between 10 and 30, we end up making a pretty good move upwards where everybody gets too greedy. And then because they get greedy, they can get taken advantage of and they get wrecked. And it comes back down and everybody gets fearful again. So looking here at Bitcoin currently, we're sitting at about 41,000 to 42,000. We're sitting on a big level of support right here that was formed during our last dip. That was back in September actually. And we've gotten quite a few rejection wicks at this level. Price pushed down here actually into the high 30s, and it was out of there within an hour or two. It was bought up very quickly, and that's a very bullish sign, at least in the short term. This is signaling we at least get a small little reversal up here. Okay, so one of the main reasons I think Bitcoin is going to make a move up here pretty soon is because there's lots of shorts and selling going on down here, and not that much buying. The buying was all done up here, and the buys got flushed. They got trapped. And that's what I think is going to happen to the shorts and sells. I think that because they've been selling so much, and the price really hasn't gone anywhere, it's remained relatively steady, and it's been rejecting that level of support. I think we're going to move up and trap all of those shorts and squeeze them. And they're either going to just sell out of their position or get liquidated, and that's going to move the market up. Another thing to note is that on the 4-hour chart, if we zoom all the way into the bottom, what we see is that we actually have a bullish divergence. Looking on the RSI, we have a consistent increase in the relative strength. We're on an uptrend, yet on the chart, we're actually in a downtrend. So that signals a bullish divergence, which means we could be heading up soon. Okay, so I think the short-term plan for Bitcoin is that we will move up. We will jump right past through this area with relative ease because there's very low open interest around this area. So it'll probably skip right through. We'll hit this level of resistance right here. We'll mess around a bit. And then we'll come up here. We'll try to make a break for this level right here at this low. That's not going to work. We'll probably move down. We'll break through it, but we won't be able to break this upper level of resistance. And we're just going to fall down from there. So just to recap real quick, I think we're going to make a small move up here on Bitcoin in the short term. In the medium term, we're probably going to get a bit lower, But then in the longer term, I think it's going to be a pretty good play, and we're going to end up getting a good move up after this. I don't think we're in that bear market territory yet. I think this is just a deeper correction, and I think now would be a decent time to look into buying. Of course, this is not financial advice. This is just my opinion, and this is purely for educational purposes. So do what you want with your money. I'm not a financial advisor, but that's what I think is going to happen with Bitcoin.